Alright, YouTube fam, so it's your boy Rank Up. We back with a video, and you already know what we about to get into. But before I start, I'm gonna, clear the air, so whenever I talk about Demon Slayer and its contents, you'll know my stance on it and why I'm really reluctant to talk about it. Okay, cool. Now, if you know me, you know I've been putting off this and many other videos for a lot of different reasons, but this one in particular, it kind of hits a nerve for me. So now in December of 2019, I finally got around to talk about the infamous Demon Slayer. This is the rookie MVP of anime, shonen anime to date, man, because it had an incredible fucking year all the way back in April. I never imagined, this little anime with a little bit of hype, a little bit of tabloids here and there, to be blowing up overnight, surpassing One Piece and manga sales, and really just gaining the entire world's attention in the span of a couple of months. Never in my wildest imagination did I expect this newcomer anime to gain so much popularity and success in so little time. So it's an elephant in the room. I guess I just gotta talk about it, air out my grievances and my thoughts on it, and yeah, so let's begin. So Demon Slayer, aka Kimetsu no Yaiba, is a Japanese animated series created by Studio Utafog, directed by Sotozaki Horura, and it aired from April 6th to September 29th of 2019. So the series is licensed by Aniplex, Funimation Mile, Hulu, and Crunchyroll, so you can get it on your little platforms or whatever. And yeah, dub is currently airing on Toonami right about now, and I've been watching that for a lot. And I also seen a lot of clips from the Japanese sub. But most importantly, most of my exposure to this medium has been through its manga and the creator, Koyoharu Kogote. That man must be balling. He must be stunting and rolling in the fucking cash thanks to the success of his manga. So, shouts out to him. His dream came true. But what I think about his work, I honestly believe that it's very, very basic, vanilla, and plain, but it has that cutting board. It has room to be something, and especially how it utilizes its elements, especially its art style and animation. It's very good presentation. See, a lot of shonen anime nowadays are just really good presentation, or just a sense of quickness or fluidity to keep it engaging for the audience. That's one of the appeals of a shonen anime, and that's more like a band-aid solution because the camera sees what it wants you to see, and it honestly spoon feeds the content to the audience. And I always hated that about a lot of shonen anime, but I will give Demon Slayer some slack for this because it follows the original Full Metal Alchemist route when it comes to doing that type of thing. It creates hints of world building or introducing elements of a plot, maybe a character or a problem, then the climax happens, they face the problem, and then it's the end, and then the next episode cues. I'm gonna just go ahead and say what good things I have to say about this anime because I really want to like it. I kind of just want to join the bandwagon, be blind to it, and enjoy the fandom too, but it's not that simple with me. It never is. So I find a lot of parallels between this anime and Full Metal Alchemist. And the first 13 episodes of Full Metal Alchemist are really, really good. That's a good thing underneath this belt. So shout out Kimetsu no Yaiba. Once again, very, very good presentation, from the color palettes to the art style to the fucking soundtrack to the camera direction. All of these things coincide to a nice fluid experience of an anime. Even the slower moments are kind of captivating, besides a few here and there I can kind of pick up on, but it's something bigger supposed to unravel behind those moments. When we get to learn about the pillars, when we get to learn about the world of Kimetsu no Yaiba, it's really interesting. Alright, so the main story starts with a prologue, a simple prologue in the first episode. We have our young main character, Tanjiro. Now, Tanjiro is this young boy selling charcoal to provide for his family since times are harder. His father died, and things are getting a little bit easier, but we're still happy. He has his mother, he has his brothers and sisters, and they're making a way for themselves. Alright, so again, a little bit of cash for the fam and learning the existence of demonkind. Tanjiro kind of chops it up as fairy tale shit, but overall, he finds out this is really, really real because his family is now dead, besides his oldest sister, Nezuko. But the side effect is, she's exposed to demon blood, she's turning into a demon now, and things are just so confused, and so his world is destroyed. In the midst of this revelation and just being distraught, Tanjiro is apparently saved by a demon slayer. Okay, the demon slayer corpse is another thing he learned about. Simple. You got monster slayers, they protect humanity. It's that. And in the midst of this demon slayer who's named Giyu, he decides to kill Nezuko because she's a demon now. There's no point. He's a professional. This is what he's trained to do. And Tanjiro, he's a good guy, especially since she's the last remnant of his family left. He decides to bargain and plead for her life, let her live, and somehow make a way to get her back to being a fully functioning human. Besides better judgment and his convictions and hatred for demons, he decides to let Nezuko live. He decides to let Tanjiro embark on his journey to become a demon slayer and, you know, fulfill his character arc in his journey. Now, mind you, this is episode 1, and there were so many red flags and so many causes of dismissal for this anime, but you know, it just started. I gotta give it the benefit of the doubt, and I had to keep trudging going. And the more I consumed, the more I kind of just felt Reddit. Sorry, so we all know he's not going to finish his journey by episode 26. The anime and the manga is not even set up to be that way. But as I say, we all know that shonens are just desperate. The renewal and extension just to drag itself out, to milk itself out as long as possible to get that revenue, alright? I find a lot of parallels between this first season of Kimetsu no Yaiba and Full Metal Alchemist, especially the idea of semblance and family. Basically, you have Tanjiro believing that his sister is still a human deep down inside of her heart, even though she's physically a demon, even though she's a beast, an anomaly, or whatever, you feel me? Deep down, he believes that's her sister. He can still retrieve and see her as such, while others may be so much dismissive or just not accepting as he is to her. Another shining example is whenever he's facing an antagonist or a demon. Tanjiro is just a good guy overall. He's not vengeful, he doesn't hate demons, and also he realizes they have sentience and feelings and capacity to think. And so he gives them a honorable, quick, painless death. He doesn't try to bask in the glory or try to brutalize them or see them as stains, because he would be a hypocrite because his own sister is a demon, you know? Like I said, I just see a lot of Full Metal Alchemist vibes, and that's kind of admirable, you know? I could see if it was a blatant ripoff, but it's not. You know, he at least tries to do something different, but it's just, you know, it's bleeding influences from contemporaries and not really standing on his own 2 legs. That's another thing that's kind of just hitting me in the gut right now about this anime. Whenever it is standing on its own 2 feet, like I said, it's just doing shonen shit, cliche shit, having ideas, having themes, having pillars that's in every shonen to date. And there's nothing inherently wrong with these ideas, it's just that they don't do anything different. And that's starting with our main character. Showing and not telling will always be a superior way of storytelling, because putting the story on autopilot will never benefit the characters or your story or whatever you're trying to convey. So the writers just cop out and give Tanjiro 2 years of off-screen canon of development for grieving his family, prepping himself to be a demon slayer, and then after all of that, he resumes the story ready, you feel me, well equipped. We don't understand this man's psyche, we don't understand his motivations or his, you know, how is he really feeling, how he's processing these things. He's just perfectly fine at the end. It's like you forgot the last 2 years of your life and throw them under the rug for sake of story. Hell, I can't even use public bathrooms to stay away after seeing a couple stalls in my lifetime, but let alone my family getting slaughtered. Worst part of all, the world doesn't even give him any resistance on how to feel or how to think about things. He just kind of breezes through it and never kind of thinks about it again. Another thing is that FMA influence runs deep, because the show focuses a lot about him and his sister's relationship and what they're gonna do for each other, you feel me? So you just end up rooting for them to win or whatnot. And to be honest, that is a breeding ground for a lot of interesting story ideas, but I know me and I know this show is not going to take those routes, so I might as well cut them out of my head. Another con of this story was that the pacing was very, very slow at times, and sometimes it built on character interactions, which is always cool, but then again, like, this is more that cute shit. This is that shonen shit, them anime fate. You know the drill. Nothing to truly drive home about the identity and the personalities behind these characters outside of their tropes. So, you know, I'm gonna just throw that as a con for now. But on the flip side, they do give our antagonists, aka the demons, some backstories in the anime that they didn't give in the manga. So, you know, that's something new, I can say that. So by the end of the series, it's really a mixed bag when it comes to interactions and developments. It's more of a shallow thing instead of a deep thing, you know? It's more of a formality than something actually being focused on within these characters. But the worst part about the plot for me, it really just takes me out of it, is when Tanjiro starts monologuing and thinking to himself that he can turn his sister back human. He doesn't even know if he can do it. He's gassing himself up way too hard and he's not prepared to fail. So, you know, at least Ed and Al were prepared to fail at worst. They did it for 4 years already, so I don't know what to tell you, bro. I just don't know what to tell you. Another praise I'm gonna give this show is that the sound design and voice direction, everything really came together, because as for the voice actors, for the sub or dub, there's powerful and convincing performances. I could say that for the least. And the sound design, like sound effects, like dropping the cutting board, the wind gustling, or, you know, just simple things like that. It really adds on to the enjoyment and the experience, the immersion of the world, you know? But even with this, they only have 2 or 3 fucking tracks of the official soundtrack of this show really just playing in the background, and it's on repeat and it's blasting loud as hell. It doesn't, oh my gosh, this show can't win for losing sometimes. So overall, my thoughts on this anime is quite simple, you feel me? I understand that this is just a setup to more content to come in the future. This is the origin story, season 1. We established everything. Now we're gonna execute everything in season 2 and afterwards. But it's just the fact that I wonder, throughout this little hiatus and overall popularity, I hope it doesn't get to anyone's head to think, okay, we can still play it safe. No, this is the time to stand out, execute things a little differently. Like, look at Attack on Titan. I'm kind of semi-curious to see what Kimetsu no Yaiba brings out in future endeavors, but it's just that knowing that style over substance reigns all, and just how things work and the politics of the anime community, I don't think it will allow itself to be anything more than that as of now. But overall, it's just a fun, fulfilling experience. That's the most I can say, a definitive shonen experience. So my rating for this show, I'll give this a C+. You know, got its little kinks about it, but it's a lot of room for improvement and potential there. Real potential that can be unlocked. Okay, this isn't the second coming of Anime Christ, as everyone wants you to believe on Twitter or whatever, but it's just, you know, it's just doing this thing. It's just got popular now. It got eyes on it. So yeah, let me guys know what you think in the comments, and transition. Hey guys, did you give this album a listen? Would you love it? Would you hate it? What would you rate it? Give your thoughts in the comments down below. Please don't die and please don't cry. It's your boy Rank Up. I'm out. Oh yeah, bitches, don't forget to like and subscribe too, man. Y'all been holding me on that shit, man, but it's whatever. I love you guys. I'll see you next time. All right.